Welcome to the Week 13 recap. Let's just get on with it. I beat Rob's Hilaire, yeah.
Oh, hell no!
I go 10-3, which is the only, well, I guess there's one other guy that's 10-3. But I also finish first because I have the most points than anyone in this league. How'd that happen? Brendan beat John. Sorry, John. Brendan, anything to say about your victory over John?
Hey, fuck you!
Joe beat Dave. Joe, anything to say?
Hey, fuck you!
Alan beat Sean. Alan, what does that make Sean?
You are a loser.
The nail biter this last week goes to Alex. He beat Todd by the narrowest margin of any matchup this last week. Alex, anything to say about your win?
Hey, fuck you!
The matchup between George and Layton received 3 awards last week. The first one, the Total Domination Award. 2 girls, 1 cup, beat Just the Tip by the most points last week. 83.22 points. Wow. That brings us to our
Stat of the day, dap bap. Stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
George beat Layton by the most points, but it's only the 3rd highest victory margin this season. Should have been the biggest, given Layton's poor management. Layton had 2 guys on a bye, and 1 guy scored nothing. Layton losing to George gives you a cup of pudding, and that's actually another
Stat of the day, dap bap.
Layton fed George a cup of pudding in week 2, but received one in week 13. So that cancels out their cups of pudding. Good work, guys. While George did feed Layton pudding this last week, to cancel out their pudding exchange, George still beat Layton. Oh, boy did he. Here's a message from George that sums up his victory and this fucked up season.
Layton, you remember that one time we played golf together and you just puked all over the place? Like, all over the place. I thought you were going to die. That's kind of what it felt like this last week. Like you were going to die. But you managed to pull through and still made the playoffs, which I still don't understand. Fuck 2020.
Finally, the last award in this matchup, Layton, your score of 56.82 was another
Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
Your score was the lowest of any manager this season. Of any manager. And that low score admits you into our 2-time lowest scorer club. Because you scored the lowest, you should have to suck a nut in our reflection photo montage.
2-time loser. 2 times I'm a loser. 2-time loser. All because I tried to play the game.
All right, the playoffs start. They've already started. Pete's up against Layton. Joe's up against John. Alex versus Sean. And Alan versus Todd. In the toilet bowl, while not on the actual app, you guys do need to keep track of your score, so set your lineups. You guys are facing off for your pick of draft position in the 2021 draft. So that is George versus Dave and Brendan versus Rob. The winner of those two matchups will play each other in Week 16 to determine who gets their pick in the 2021 draft. But Dave, you're getting a prize this season. Enjoy. So remember, guys, set your lineups, strike hard, strike fast, and always be a good sport.